So what can the process of getting this all started, how did this all come about, and why was it so important to go ahead and get it done?
Well, this whole process actually started about 2 years ago, October of 17. We really began to talk about where we can go, the next iteration of things inside Death Valley Memorial Stadium. So it's really been the culmination of those 2 years, and we've had a lot of different ideas, but what we've been able to put forward to the board right now is the culmination of that. The premium areas, both on the west concourse and the west lower area, as well as the increased lower deck seating on the east. Scoreboard certainly is a big thing that was very important for us to look at as a next thing inside Memorial Stadium. And when you do a video board, you get a new sound system, you get new lighting for inside the stadium, which was also important as well. And then the other part of this is a redo of the parking lot outside of the Oculus. So all of those things kind of pulled together. Took a little while to put under one umbrella, but that's why it took so long to get to where we are, but we're excited to move ahead.
Why did you feel like it was so important to get the video board upgraded, some of the seating, some of those kind of things done?
Well, as we travel around, we see other teams within the Atlantic Coast Conference, and scoreboards have, in many ways, about a 10-year lifespan, and that's been there a little, not that current board, but that size board has been there for over 10 years. And we haven't had a major increase or major redo of the west side of the stadium since 2006. So it was time to pay some attention to that part. We'd redone the suites on the north side. We created the South Club on the south side. So we wanted to be able to do something on the west side of the stadium that will be a great thing for the fans who enjoy that kind of premium area, but also enhance the stadium.
One of the things you guys are improving is ADA accessibility. Can you talk a little bit about that?
That's a work in progress as we continue looking at the details of this, but certainly the increase in ADA seating is important for us and something that we're going to focus on as we continue down the path of taking what are conceptual drawings right now, hiring an architect, a contractor, getting them to construction drawings, and turning dirt hopefully in December of 2020.
And Dan, how will all this funding take place?
It's all like all the rest of our projects. It's privately funded through the great membership of our IPTE folks, as well as private dollars or self-generated dollars, I should say, from the athletic department. But this project will be at least as it's planned right now, a mix of debt and cash. So we'll have some debt, we'll have some cash put into the project.
Will there be any change in ticket prices or any increase that'll come along with this?
No, we've kind of over the next 4 or 5 years kind of scripted out, at least preliminarily, where our ticket prices are. We did have an increase this past year. Don't look for that to significantly change into the near future.
Just the LED lighting, it seems like Alabama and Georgia really doing the light shows. Is that something that could be a chance that you guys could do with the LED?
I mean, those are the things that we have to look at. Certainly there could be a chance as we create that new lighting system, but first and foremost in that lighting system is to make sure that the field and everything is lit in the proper way. There's unique things around Clemson, the Hill, the Rock, all the things around our stadium that make us unique. Whether a light show is one of the things we want to accentuate, we'll talk about that as we move forward. But certainly that technology exists now to allow that to happen.
With the scoreboard you got in there now, will that move over to baseball? Some people are asking me that.
Here's an interesting thing. 10 years ago, it was absolutely the right idea to move scoreboards from one place to another. We've been told, even as we did the scoreboard out inside Littlejohn and some of our other work, it's not economically feasible to do that now because it's not the components that cost when you buy a scoreboard, the components are such a small part of it. It's the structure and all the inner workings that really create the cost. So that's a long answer to probably not.
Okay.
With the video board, what went into, I guess, deciding this is where we want to be as far as size and kind of comparing with some of the others that you went around and saw?
Comparing those other stadiums is dangerous a little bit because, as you know, at many of those stadiums, those scoreboards are up and back from the seating areas. Our scoreboard, because it's kind of in the middle of our in the middle of that end zone, is much closer to the fans. So we wanted to right size it. We wanted it to be big. We wanted it to have an effect. We wanted it to, if you're going to put a new scoreboard in, you want it to have some really great things on it and make the fan experience better. And by putting it in that, keeping it in that location, and making sure it's about the size that we're looking at, put it in the right aspect ratio, that's where we came to. We kind of backed into it a little bit.